Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi guys, hello everybody. How are you today? I hope all of you have a good condition in this pandemic. My name is Putri Amalia Oktafiani. I'm from Mathematics Education, Faculty of Teacher and Training in University of Muhammadiyah Professor Dr. HAMKA. Today, I will explain about annuity. The first is ordinary annuity and the second is annuity 2.
So don't forget to pray in Bismillah. And this is the ordinary annuity. Ordinary annuity is a series of equal payments that are made at the end of each consecutive interval period for a specific length of time. In other words, the annuitant receives payout at the end of each month, the end of each quarter, or the end of another specific interval. Common example of ordinary annuity include: the first is home mortgage, second is income annuity, dividend payment. This is the ordinary annuity. We have the first is present value and second is future value. Let's see the present value. And this is the present value. Present value is the current value of a sum of money or a stream of income that will be received in the future. The formula is 1 minus 1 plus I to the power of minus n and divided by I times by A. PB is for present value, I is interest rate per period, and for the total number of periods, and A for annuity or periodic payment. This is the example. If an ordinary annuity pays $45,000 for 10 years with an interest rate of 6%, the present value of the annuity will be as follows. And we know that I, A, and N. How much the PB? Use the formula before or formula of PB, and then we get the PB is 331,203,092. And the first point in present value is calculating the amount of installment from the formula of PB, and then we get the A is PB divided by 1 minus 1 plus I power of minus n and divided by I. The example is Rina borrowed 10 million rupiah with an interest rate of 12%. If she has to pay off the loan in 24 monthly installments, how much the installment does he have to pay each month? And then we get the result is here. The second point of present value is calculating number of periods, and from the formula of PB, we get N is log times 1 minus PB times I divided by A, and divided by log 1 plus A. Example, and from the formula of N, we get N is 120 months, or we can say 10 years. And next, this is the third point of present value in ordinary annuity. Interest rate. Interest rate can be solved by trial and error method. Example, a piece of jewelry for 30 million Indonesian dollar rupiah in cash can be purchased with 12 monthly installments of 2,758 Indonesian dollar rupiah each. What is the interest rate change? We know that A, PB, and N. The first step or A is we have to take one particular value of I, say 18% or 5.5% per month, and trace to the PB equation. So the I is 0.01 and 5. We use the formula of PB and we get the result is 30,093,000 rupiah. because the PB is bigger or more than 30 million, we have to trade with a larger I value, for example 19 PA. So the I is 1.15833 present. Sorry, this is the present value. So we get the present value of I is 19% is 29 million and blah blah blah. So and next, because the PB is obtained, then we can conclude that interest rate between 18% and 19%. We can try, for example, is 18.6% maybe, and then we get PB is fixed on the 30 million. 30 million Indonesian dollar rupiah. So we get the I is 18.6% PA. This is the second point of ordinary annuity is future value, the value of a group of recurring payment at a certain date in the future, assuming a particular rate of return or discount rate. And the formula for future value is 1 plus I divided by N minus 1 and divided by I PMT. PMT is the annuity payment of, before we can say that is A. The first point on future value is calculating the amount of installment. The formula is PMT FV divided by 1 plus I power of N minus 1 divided by I. And the point B is calculating number of periods, with the formula is minus log 1 plus FV point or FV times by I divided by PMT and divided by log 1 plus I. And the C is interest rate. Can be solved by trial and error like before or with annuity tables. Example, X deposit with 350,000 each to 3,342,000. 0.5,000. What is the interest rate per period? You know that PMT and FP, we use the FP formula, and then we get the result is 9.55. The next step is to look at the table of future annuity on the line N is 6, where the number approaches 9.55. It turns out the class 1, that is if I is equals 5% per period.
And the next is annuity 2. Annuity 2 have the present value and future value. What is annuity 2? Annuity 2 is an annuity whose payment is due immediately at the beginning of each period. Example, Mrs. Jono wants to buy a television. He makes a payment using the annuity 2 system. Then, he makes a payment when he receives the television at the beginning of the first period. So, for the case of the same number and time of installments periods, the annuity 2 will be completed faster than the ordinary annuity. This is the common example of an ordinary annuity include first is many monthly bills such as rent, mortgage, car payment, and cell phone payment are annuity due because the beneficiary must pay at the beginning of the billing period. The second is insurance expenses, and third is rights relating to saving for retirement or putting money aside for a specific purpose. And next, annuity do have a present value and future value. Present value have amount of installment, number of periods, interest rate, and then the future value have the same. Let's see the present value.
present value, like same on ordinary annuity, present value is the current value of a sum of money or a stream of income that will be received in the future. This is the equation or the formula of present value. Present value is equals 1 minus 1 plus I to the power of minus n plus 1 divided by I plus 1 and times by A. Examples. We use the formula of PV and we get 42 million rupiah. The first is calculating the amount of installment. From the equation 1, we get A is PV divided by 1 minus 1 plus I to the power of minus n plus 1 divided by I plus 1. This is the example. We use the formula of A and then we get 600 million rupiah. And the B is calculating number of periods. From the equation 1, we get n is equals minus log times by 1 minus PV times I divided by A, and divided log 1 plus I. C is interest rate. Same with ordinary annuity, can be solved by trial and error method. The first step is find a value for PV that is greater and smaller than the known value is PV by plugging any value of I into the present value formula of an annuity. If the PV value obtained greater, increase the interest rate in order to get a lower PV value and forward the opposite. And next step is after obtaining the interest rate, the PV expected to use the interpolate as follows. I minus I2 divided by I1 minus I2 is equals PV minus PV2 divided by PV1 minus PV2. This is the example. The first step, plugging any value. Example, I is equals 3% or 36% PA. So we use the formula of PV and we get PV is 96 million rupiah. Because PV and interest rate of 36% PA is smaller than the desired PV, we can lower the interest rate, for example 1% or 12% PA, and use the formula of PV and we get 105 million rupiah. And then we get the lower and the bigger. The second step is use interpolate to find the value of I. Use the formula and then we get I minus 1 is equals 26.52%. And this is the future value. The formula is future value equals 1 plus I power of n minus 1 divided by I times P and times by I plus 1. Calculating the amount of installment from the formula of FP, we get the P. P is annuity payment, or we can say that is like A or PMP. The B is calculating number of periods from the formula of FP before, and then we get the formula of M and its number of periods. C is interest rate, can be solved by trial and error. Again. Example, after saving 5 million for 20 times a customer received 126 million, how many the interest rate given by the bank if the customer saved at the beginning of each month? We can solve. Now this is the conclusion. We can take a picture of this or screenshot. And then, thank you.
After watching this video, I hope you understand about ordinary annuity and annuity too. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.